What's up, Rasmanites? TNA Lockdown 2013 pay-per-view review. Today, on the Rasman's Reality. Sorry, by the way, that I never got to do predictions for this pay-per-view. I saw the film Oz, the Great and Powerful on opening day, so I put that review up on Saturday because I went to a late night showing of it on Friday and then just got busy over the weekend and didn't want to overshadow that review really. But this is why so many people hate on TNA. Because TNA refuses to do anything that anybody can't see coming from 10,000 miles away. But before I get into my rant, let's break down the entire pay-per-view. Because there were some decent things about the pay-per-view. You had the opener X Division Championship, Zema Ion and Christian York challenging the new X Division champion Kenny King. In my opinion, the best decision TNA has made in the last 6 months is to have Kenny King take the X Division championship. So I was very, very happy to see him retain, and these three put on a phenomenal match. You know, high flying move after high flying move, kick out after kick out, the whole deal. Everything you would expect from an X Division match, and it's a perfect way to set the tone for Lockdown, which, by the way, the rumors were true. Lockdown is no longer in every match in the Steel Cage pay-per-view, and I guess that's okay, but I do kind of miss the old format. But I guess TNA's thought process there is, with them going with the old school mentality of only 4 pay-per-views a year and not really having pay-per-view matches every time, they're going to have a lot of build-up and a lot of hype behind them, that just throwing matches on a pay-per-view, it might be better for them not to be in a steel cage, because a steel cage is about feuds with heat, about moments with heat. So I can kind of understand it, but great opening match. Then we get Joseph Park versus Joey Ryan. Sorry, I forgot who Park faced there for a second, but Joseph Park gets the victory in this one. Still not a big fan of Joey Ryan. I'm sorry. I just don't get the guy. We'll have to wait and see if he grows on me any. Then we get the Knockouts Championship, Mike Girl, Velvet Sky, finally getting justice on a pay-per-view, going over against Gail Kim to retain the Knockouts Championship. I'm really happy about that. I'm kind of curious now, and I'm sorry if you just heard background noise, by the way, someone was in the bathroom. I'm curious as to whether or not they're going to let Taryn Terrell become an actual performer, because they've been doing this whole storyline with Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim, where Gail Kim keeps pushing Taryn Terrell too far, and Taryn Terrell got slapped in this match and she went crazy and speared Gail Kim, and then Gail Kim jumped her backstage after the match later on in the night. So I'm kind of curious as to where this is going to go, and if Taryn Terrell does become a performer, she better be good. That's all I can say about that, because TNA's, especially after last night, they got enough problems right now. So next up, it was, trying to think of match order here. Oh, it was Robbie versus Robbie T. Robbie T gets the victory here in this one. It was an okay match. It wasn't anything spectacular, about what you'd expect. They're trying to push Robbie T again for the 15th time since he's been in TNA until it actually goes somewhere. You know, I'm kind of indifferent about it. So, next up we get an excellent 3-way match for the TNA World Tag Team Championship. You get Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, who did show up to Lockdown, by the way. Conflicting reports. Some say his contract wasn't even up. Others say he signed a last-minute deal going into Lockdown, pulled a CM Punk, and actually signed a contract at the pay-per-view. Whatever the case is, Austin Aries and Bobby Roode still your TNA World Tag Team Champions, and all three teams, Bad Influence and Chavo and Hernandez, all three teams put on a great performance. Second best match of the night behind the X Division Championship. And no, I didn't forget the World Heavyweight Championship match. I'm going to get into that. So next up, we've got first of the steel cage matches, Kurt Angle versus Wes Briscoe. Decent match. I'm really kind of now do see what people have been talking about with Wes Briscoe. I think he's got a high future in him, but it kind of got ruined because it was the typical aces and eights ending. Vice President Diego Brown runs down and pulls Wes Briscoe out of the cage after throwing Kurt Angle into the cage door. This after Angle gets both a tap out and a walk out of the cage door with referee Brian Hebner down. Next up, Lethal Lockdown Team TNA versus Team Aces and Eights. Team TNA gets the victory in this one, as the ending of the match comes with a Scorpion Death Drop followed by a high elbow drop off the top of the cage from Eric Young. Great spot. Say what you want to say about Eric Young and the goofy gimmick that they've always stuck him with, but I've always said that Eric Young is one of the most underrated performers in professional wrestling, and he proved it again here at Lockdown. And that was a really, really good match. And I'm pretty sure I covered everything, so now let's get into it. Bully Ray versus Jeff Hardy for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship inside the steel cage. A match built out of respect. Bully Ray with so much momentum as a face. Whether you like the whole Brooke Hogan thing or you didn't, you have to admit that you became more and more of a fan of Bully Ray, and he really started to flex his muscles as a singles performer. I was expecting a fantastic match, and it should have been, and it was. Off and on, it was in the beginning, and then Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff come out. So Bully and Jeff double team them, get them out of the ring. Then they go back and start wrestling each other. Bully is down at this point. Hulk comes down on its crutches, which, by the way, isn't just selling an attack from Aces and Eights. He's legitimately injured right now. He had another knee surgery, so just thought I'd point that out. But earlier on in the night, Hogan was trying to psych up Bully, talking about words from Andre the Giant, talking about make sure you'll never be forgotten, make sure they remember you. Well, he definitely made sure of that. Broken, and Hulk come down to cheer on Bully. Aces and Eights come out, Hogan screaming, warning them, Aces and Eights, Aces and Eights. So Bully gets out his chain. Jeff is Bully's back. They're ready to fight off Aces and Eights with a weapon. Here comes Devon. Camera focusing solely on Devon because this was going to be a big moment, and there was a reason Devon was the one doing it. Devon reaches in his pocket, pulls out the hammer that Doc has made famous, and throws it into the hands of Bully Ray. Bully Ray then takes it to Jeff Hardy. They force Hebner to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Bully Ray, your new TNA World Heavyweight Champion, gets on the mic, says to Brooke Hogan, you love nothing, you love nothing, I screwed you. Hulk Hogan, I used you. I am Bully Ray. I am the president of Aces and Eights, and I am the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And I gotta admit, they kind of fooled me a little bit. I didn't think they were gonna be this obvious. So maybe it wasn't as obvious, but come on, it was something that everybody could see coming since this whole angle started. no one bought in to Bully Ray as a face at first, and people said that's why they made him a quote-unquote Hogan to get him over as a face. But apparently it was just trying even harder to keep his cloak under wraps. This whole thing has been a plan since Devon got revealed as the first Ace and Ace member at Bound for Glory 2012. So it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward, but I still think there's going to be one more twist. I still think AJ Styles maybe has something to do with TNA, or to do with Aces and Eights, sorry, but I tried to get ahead of myself there. That's why I said TNA, because he may end up being like Sting was for WCW. He may be the savior for TNA, and that's why he's been quiet this whole time. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But I still think they revealed the vice president and president. I still think the founder needs to be revealed, and if it's Jeff Jarrett, that'll be a little bit obvious, but I'll be okay with that. If it's Eric Bischoff, then it's just Immortal again, all over again. And what the heck was the point of all of this? Just for Bully Ray to get Eric Bischoff back in control in TNA? It's just ridiculous. So, really disappointed in TNA for not doing something original. Jeff Hardy versus Bully Ray could have been amazing. Hopefully we get a rematch. We're going to get a rematch because Jeff Hardy is a former champion. He gets a rematch. But hopefully somehow, some way we get a rematch where it's not Aces and Eights involved, and Bully Ray at least goes over somewhat clean, being a full-on heel. But yeah, just really, really disappointed at the predictability. So I gotta give this show a 6 out of 10, and that's being generous because the ending just left a horribly bad taste in my mouth. So, as always, if you've seen the pay-per-view, feel free to leave a video response or comment down below. Don't forget to check out the official sponsors of this program and channel, Handi Enterprises Inc., your productivity and communication specialist. All company contact information, as always, is down below in the description box. And if this happened to be your first ever episode of the Razman's Reality you've ever seen, and you liked what you saw, click that subscribe button to become a Razmanite. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. This is reality according to the Razman and Razman style. It's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.